I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Deputy, roll call, please.
Condit.
Here.
Eric Gunnels.
Here.
Pat Tack.
Excused.
Tim Brenner.
Excused.
Chris Taylor. Here. Stacy Wells. Here. Rachel Stanky.
Here. Public comments, please, for agenda items only for 3 minutes. Okay, new business. The Township Planning and Zoning MTA event. I would like to make a motion to approve any members who, the cost for any members who are willing to attend the Township Planning and Zoning event in Frankenmuth, hosted by MTA.
Or.
Is there any discussion on this topic? For everybody? Everybody. Anyone who wants to attend within the township, do we need to clarify that?
You mean board?
Planning members,
Any
board
board
members,
member.
zoning
You don't
members.
need anyone in the
Yes,
township.
I don't mean anyone in the township, I mean just one
I understand.
affiliated. That's what you want me to detail that.
No, I just want to make sure it's boards.
Board members.
And the, and you can, the rate, you could list the rate if you like, just for.
So if we can get the early bird rate at $100 per person, but that expires 2 weeks prior to the event date.
And
The late registration would be $150 per person.
just to verify that, and when I mean the board, that includes Amby.
Yes,
Okay.
and that would be August 18th in Frankenmuth.
When's the date, the last date to file for that?
I would say 2 weeks prior to the event start date, so they get the early bird special at $100.
It costs $50 more if you wait.
What was the date again?
August 18th. So I can clarify my motion, Andy, and I'm sorry. My motion will be to pay for any planning board, ZBA, or internal Thetford Township members that would like to attend the Township Planning and Zoning MTA event hosted on August 18th. Must inform the township 2 weeks prior to the event.
Worth that change.
Is there any further discussion on that? Okay, we'll go ahead and do a roll call when you're ready, Andy.
John Condit.
Yes.
Eric Gunnels.
Yes.
Chris Taylor.
Yes.
Stacy Wells.
Yes.
Rachel Stanky.
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, we'll move on to the planning commission. First, I'm going to make a motion to accept the resignation of Jason Carnell.
Support.
Is there any discussion on that? Okay, no further discussion. All in favor of accepting the resignation of Jason Carnell, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. And Stephanie, I am sorry if I don't say this properly, because I know I always mess it up. But I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Stephanie Bromway.
Yeah.
To the planning commission.
Support.
Is there any discussion?
Okay, right here.
Okay, and no discussion, all in favor of the appointment of Stephanie Bromway to the planning commission, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Next, I am going to make a motion to adopt resolution 2026-6, the Genesee County Community Development Signature Card. Support. I just want to inform everybody that it needed to be updated because Nicole Moore was still previously on our signature card.
So what is this again?
This is our signature card for the CDBG grant. And I'm gonna actually amend that resolution number. I'm gonna amend that resolution number in my motion to 6-3-2026-6.
You support that amendment to it.
Yes. 6-3-2026-6.
Good idea. Oh, so we keep track of them, so.
Is there any further discussion on the signature card?
Is there a reason the deputy treasurer's not on here?
We only need 4 spots, and Andy, the clerk's department is technically in charge of the CDBG grant reporting. So I found that it's imperative that Andy is on there, because she has all the CDBG stuff. I turned it over to her. You don't have this term. Which will be, your department will be in charge of the CDBG. Thank you. If no further discussion, all in favor of these new signature card updates, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, we'll move on to the approval of the Clio area library invoice. I'll make a motion to approve the invoice in the amount of $21,125 for annual dues to the Clio libraries.
And then Chris, go ahead and voice your concern, the same concern I was concerned with.
Yeah, so why do we pay them this when we pay them out of our taxes as well?
Repairs. I asked Janice. She said this is
This
repairs.
is all
Even
repairs.
though we pay them out of taxes, this
This is an annual total.
is. Now Chris sends them money off tax checks.
Well, it's a millage, we have the
Mhm.
library millage, so they're getting,
Oh.
so they're
They
getting the
get the
millage.
millage.
They're getting millage money, so that's why we're.
This is because this is the dues that we pay, Vienna pays, and the city of Klein pays because of how many people we have in attendance. So we're kind of like the fire authority, so. So we have
That's
to
what
do
we're trying to think of though, with the millage, why are we paying an additional amount? That was the
We
question.
do have a library agreement with them. If you guys want to make a decision, we can bring that back and review.
Well, I don't,
Because I believe the funds are due till October, but I could be mixing that up with the Parks and Rec.
think next year we need to review, I mean, if we're gonna do it this year, we need to review that because if what she just told you is it's strictly for building, well, you're building a fund for repairs and it's not normally, oh, I would like to see it operated if, especially because it won't surprise me if the county raises this millage again.
Well, I couldn't get a
And
hold
it
of.
may be, is it on the ballot this year?
I think it's next, or I think it's next presidential, it's not on.
Oh, okay, so it's gonna, and they're gonna hike it, so.
I think the library one, if I'm correct, I could be wrong, but it was the library one and also the, not community arts. And the same knowledge.
If you want to hold off, I couldn't get a hold of the treasurer. She works at Vienna Township. She was not in today.
I'm not opposed to not making a decision.
As long as it's not gonna screw us up by, because it's a special meeting and we're not gonna have time to do it again, I guess if it. I'm just, I just don't like to blank sign the check without questioning why we're putting 63,000 in addition. And the 3 municipalities in addition to the mill. And, I know they've had some building,
Maybe nothing that you guys out.
Yeah, but I'm not opposed to doing it if we have to do it now. I'm not opposed, I just think it's something that we should be asking about.
When is it? Just as the invoice date on here as 6/8.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I feel like the actual due isn't until October, but again, I could be mixing that up with the Parks and Rec.
You said I wouldn't pay anything over $10,000 without bringing it.
Right, and it is based on percentage, and I pulled the one from November, our attendance has dropped there a couple of percent. But that's not the issue for me, I'm just, It's,
Look at the bylaws, but I feel like it's our dues, just like we pay the fire authority our dues, so that they can do their upkeep, but the fire department will do the same for the library.
probably true.
Okay. I can withdraw my motion on that. I don't know who supported me. Chris, did you support? Yeah, withdraw, okay, and then we'll just bring it back, Stacey, if you can give us some more clarification. I see. So next. We're gonna look at the firework permit application. I'm gonna make a motion to approve 5072 Scott Road, Mount Morris, Michigan, Peggy Arlie Anderson for a firework permit.
Yeah, are you going for support on that already, or?
So we can discuss.
Yes.
I'll support it, I suppose, well, I'm not gonna support it if someone else wants to.
I think it's good.
I'll support it so we can talk about it.
Okay, so just clarification too, you just approved a firework permit, but this board did at our last meeting for another.
We just,
Will we approve, hold on,
It was for a household, it was for, that was for grants. It was business, right,
actually, maybe right in there, yeah, right.
right.
So this lady has filed one with us annually every year since I've been. We've approved her. It was brought to the board's attention, I know this might be the discussion of, not issuing a permit. But I believe that the township has to approve the permit. Now, do we have an ordinance in place for the fireworks, which regulates what they can shoot on and what they can do? No. But she does provide us a list of what will be held as well at her property. We do inform the fire chief, yes.
I would just like to see, she's got a rider on her house insurance. I would like to see a bond or an insurance of the rider for her house insurance in case something happens, because she's not a business. Right here, she's signed, no.
Why would we do that for someone that's not a business? I don't understand.
Your homeowner's insurance, you carry a rider.
Yeah, no, but like, we don't have homeowners insurance, why would we? I'm actually baffled as to why we wouldn't have, even have a permit process for a residential property.
The state does say that the township should approve, the board of trustees should approve the permits for fireworks.
But if anything caught on
Sure.
fire, she should have a
If they
rider.
have a firework, if they have a firework display that's gonna be. That's going to include fireworks that are not normally. Lit off in your backyard, I guess. you'd say.
yeah, pretty extensive. It's on the next page, the list of the type of fireworks.
Yeah.
Not that I know what they are, but there's a lot of 4-inch shells in there.
And I do send
Yeah.
the notification, when we do approve, I send them over to the chief Bronson, so that he's aware of what properties have. Fireworks of this capacity.
Well, that's kind of like more line train of thought with the, she is not, I guarantee you, she's not the only property that's gonna be lighting out fireworks. And I'm certain that there are other people that are gonna be lighting out fireworks just as big or bigger than the ones that she's doing, and they didn't pull a permit. Okay, so my point with that is that why don't we just have a policy that just says it's not a permitted thing for residential, if you would like to submit a identification that you will be lighting out fireworks to the fire department, that way the fire department knows, the property that's gonna be lighting them off. And we just have, just no differently than, you calling the fire department line, you're not calling the fire department line to get a permit for a fire, you're just calling to see if it's safe to light off, to light a fire. If it says, if the phone says, it's not safe to light off a fire, then, or if it says it's not safe to light off fireworks. But it's not safe, you take I guess you take your own risk, but. I really see is to,
I think
change
she
that.
was trying to state law. Some people don't, but I believe the state law states that the township board needs to approve it, and that's what she's trying to do. This permit is pulled right off of Michigan.gov. If you read it, it states that the legislative body of city, village, or township board will not discriminate against any individual group because of race, sex, religion, age, national origin, color, material, if you need assistance.
And it comes off the Michigan website, yeah.
This permit is not transferable. Possession of this permit authorizes the here named person to possess, transport, and display fireworks in the amount for the purpose of and at place listed below only through permit expiration.
did make the point, if there's no burning, she wouldn't be able to do them this night.
Well, yeah,
No, that's.
I mean, that would be a state.
So this permit basically holds her liable, right?
Well, it gives her the authority to be able to, if she gets the police come to her house, she can say the township board approved me to have these fireworks and.
I'm actually okay with this because she went through the process with the exception of, I'd like to see her, just bring us a copy of her homeowner's liability on file.
So I will amend my motion to include proof of liability
Just so she's
insurance.
got, we see she's got liability coverage, so, that's for me, but however,
That's an instant carrier on your insurance. Everyone has that.
I just want a copy that the policy's active. That's all I need.
So it's approved based on proof of liability insurance.
That, your constitutional rights are not contingent upon having an insurance policy.
No,
Oh,
for me, that's just protecting us. Let's say she burns down 3 neighbors' houses and they say, what the hell were you thinking? And I can say, but we got it, we proved she had insurance. And this is just protection for the vote. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm at with that here.
I mean, she can make the choice to, if she doesn't provide the liability insurance coverage, we're approving her based on
No coverage, no.
liability insurance coverage. So if she chooses not to provide that liability insurance coverage and chooses to do the fireworks show, well then, no one can look at the township board because we approved you based on this factor.
And if she doesn't have it, it usually only runs $25 or $50 extra to put on your homeowners, and she's paying a lot for these, so
Yeah, she
I
did.
don't think that.
Just a little insurance policy,
I'm
that's
gonna
all.
assume if she does this every year, I know she files a permit, but she probably already has.
I'm sure she does. She, and as long as the chief's aware of it, so he's gonna know if he gets a call in that area, he's gonna know what's going on there.
It just seems odd because we're giving one person a permit for something that everybody out there is doing.
Everybody else doesn't want to follow the procedure.
They can get in trouble.
It's the 4th of July.
Well, we don't.
I mean, it's the one day that
People-
the government saying.
I mean, just, everybody wants to
Okay.
follow the procedure,
Madam
With that, we'll go with a,
Can I make a comment, interject a comment? I believe part of what you're discussing, and I see Eric's point, is a personal display. If I remember correctly, it's been maybe 2 years that Attorney Gildner had a discussion with the board about issuing permits for fireworks. And I think your state form is quotes for other than consumer or low impact. With Graham's, you were issuing a commercial fireworks permit where you're hiring a company to come in and perform the display. And this appears to be more of just a neighborhood display, which carries its own liability because you're doing it, not so that the township would issue a permit for a commercial company to come in. Because Graham's, if I remember their applications, provided details on liability insurance and everything because it was a commercial display. And you're attempting to give permits for, if I want to go home and light bottle rockets, maybe I should come in and get a permit, regardless of how big it is. I think the key word on your government form is fireworks other than consumer or low impact.
Yeah, well, and this.
And consumer would be what.
Where
what
did you get that, John?
Under the first part of the packet, on the fireworks, right at the top of the page here.
But also, these are not what I would call every homeowner. He's got 4-inch shells, 6-inch shells, 8-inch shells. I would say those are not your regular consumer.
100 shots of
Fireworks.
Yeah. they're not-
But she marked up here, the type of permit.
I get it, but are we talking about?
I mean, it says a type of permit, and she didn't mark private display, she marked display fireworks.
But to Kevin's point, are we talking about a professional company, or are we just talking about Joe Brown or Joe Blow? Get back like
Our application says pick up at Ace Pyro, so they're picking up their own. That would be my
Yes.
reading from their application. they intend on setting off, they're purchasing their own.
Yeah, they're gonna light them. What's
Yeah. That includes beers and everything else that goes before the July. Just saying.
So that's just my thought, is it's geared more for a commercial display. Your permit process than this residential.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm getting at here. It's just it's like we're giving, commercial permission to a residential property, and I don't see I see that there's a difference. We would treat these things differently, just like as Kevin's pointing out. Graham's is a commercial business. I mean, I can totally see a commercial business asking permission, as I probably think that they should, probably. They would have to follow with some kind of insurance, policy confirmation and so forth. But when you're in your own backyard, I mean.
it just reminds me that she wants to cover all her bases. She wants to be safe, so I don't know.
Kind of what I'm getting at.
I can appreciate the gesture, really can, but I just don't think it's necessary. And she wants to send a letter to the chief of the fire department and just say, hey, we're gonna, light some big ones up, the third or fourth or fifth, or, just let you know. But
People always on their homeowners still carry a liability no matter what. There's a liability on everyone's homeowners that will cover like cars or anything that were in the way and that got.
I just want to make sure it wasn't lapsed, that's
Yeah.
all. Said it's not, that's.
and that's all well and good too, but it's not operations of government are not here to cater to someone's backyard picnic. You see what I'm saying? I guess this is a commercial property thing, not a residential property thing.
Here. They can follow the state guidelines. 1 3/4 inch mortar is big as you're allowed, which is 60 grams, 1.4 gram is personal use. That's non-commercial.
Oh, is that what it is? Yep.
So Google says, under the Michigan Fireworks Safety Act 256 of 2011, a private individual does not need a permit to ignite consumer grade fireworks as long as they are ignited in their own property or property where they have permission. They are used only on the days allowed by the state law and local ordinance. They are not used while intoxicated, and they comply with any local time of day restriction. Consumer fireworks include common items like aerial shells, Roman candles, bottle rockets, etc.
This isn't.
A permit is required for display fireworks. A residential property cannot legally set off display fireworks, large commercial shells, without a municipal permit issued by a city, village, or township. Display fireworks require a local government issued permit, a certified something, proper insurance, and a safety inspection. Display fireworks are regulated under MCL 28.466.
So she just brings in the writer on her
Yeah,
liability.
that's all, yeah, for me, that's all I need.
That would be the clarification.
Look,
We'll just go.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I love the Google response. I can actually appreciate that too. But again, it's
These would be above, these are commercial grade fireworks, and that's why I'm assuming she's silent. They're not,
I
because
get
they're
that.
not.
I get that. So are we gonna go around on the 4th and just write tickets to everybody
I
else?
would take us to nobody.
What does that retroactively mean, I guess?
He is trying to follow the proper procedure.
Oh, yeah, that's great for her.
There's
What are we gonna do
a
for
lot of-
everybody else?
Let's just, it's just accept the one.
So, everybody get a red flag, does everybody else get a letter from the attorney?
Not unless they burn their neighbor's house down. Then they get a flag.
Let's do a roll call, let's do a roll.
Show up to the house back to door. We're getting class B fireworks.
Yes, that's what I amended my motion to be contingent on the liability.
Just one final question. Who is going to contact her regarding that? He needs the insurance, brought a copy here.
I'm sure she'll call me, she did.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that she
She'll
gets
contact me.
All right.
Roll call, please.
John Congdon.
Yeah.
Eric Gunnels.
We'll just say no for today.
Christine Taylor.
Yes.
Stacy Wells.
Yes.
Rachel Stinky.
Yes. Motion carried 4-1. Okay, Moving on to the next agenda item. The senior center roof estimates, I'm not going to take any action on that because the actual siding quote was put in your packet, so I think we need some more time for review on that, so. I'm gonna move past that agenda item. And I will move forward with a motion to adopt the Thetford Township ordinance number 2026-06-30. An ordinance to amend the township zoning ordinance to provide penalties for violating the Thetford Township zoning ordinance as a municipal infraction. Civil infraction.
I'll support.
Thank you. Discussion.
Yeah, this is one I've been, I did a little research on and. We did good. I just wanted to see what that means and it. A municipal civil infraction. And it does actually say that deals with local code compliance. It's not a criminal act, but generally the items that is unpermitted building work. Grass, noise, dogs, that kind of thing. But it does have building, so our ordinance is pretty extensive, I thought. I do have one section, 2404, however, that I do have a problem with, and it says debt owed to the township by means of fines, fees, or costs undertaken by the township in its relation to the enforcement of the ordinance may be levied upon violators. For me, that should stop at violators, but it continues. It'll be put property taxes or property held within the township to be classified as a special assessment. And ultimately lead to liens issued against such property as allowed by state law. So for what that says to me is the code enforcement writes a violation. He stacks them up, it goes to court, our attorney fights it. He says he's not paying it, we put it on his taxes. And eventually you could put a lien on the property. I have a problem with that language, because that language has been used in other applications, including recovery of, cost recovery for the fire department. So they would like to be able to, and I just think that I would rather our attorney fights it in court. You get a settlement and then we deal with it, even though we're paying the attorney rather than, because I could see an application where they just say, I don't want to talk to the guy anymore. Let's just put it on his tax. And for me, I don't want to see our residents in that position. So other than the rest of the agreement, I think we need to have so that there is some meat to it. It also says if you're out of violation continually, you will be continually fined. That's good. I just don't like that particular. I think it's.
So what would you prefer that we remove?
You stop it. Yeah, ordinance may be levied upon the violator. Move that last line. So it is.
Let's start with property tax ordinance. Maybe.
Yes.
So that's owed to the township by means of fines, fees, or as costs undertaken by the township in relation to the enforcement of this ordinance.
I don't care to reword it, just so that those fines go on the violator.
Right, so.
Remove the, somehow, yeah, you need to attach it, so you,
Well, we would probably. Take away the entire
the last.
paragraph, because I mean, you can have debts owed, but if we don't have a way to read.
Well, we have a way, because it says that you will, if you're issued a municipal civil infraction, you are given a citation that directs you to the local district or municipal court. And you have three options: admit responsibility with explanation, deny responsibility, in which case, just what we said earlier, our attorney fights it. So the infraction fee right will eventually go to court. We'll give them to our attorney and he will file it. So I still want the violator to say that the violator is responsible. I just don't want it to say that I'm just going to throw it on your taxes if I don't like what you're doing.
Okay.
So however you want to word that, that's.
So I will amend my motion to adopt ordinance 2026-06-30 with the removal of the second paragraph in section 24.04 under remedies.
Yeah, that would probably work. I mean, because it still says you're responsible and we are gonna, so, yes.
You're gonna remove this,
That might-
and you're gonna remove this whole section.
Yes.
You can run it by the attorney. If he'd rather word that differently for his benefit, I don't care, just so it doesn't
I mean,
include.
I would assume if we have that,
This was the.
if we don't have any
Google.
intention of
No.
getting the debt, then it's relevant.
The court will get it. They
Yeah.
can take their
Yeah,
driver's license.
he's gonna
away
continue
and
to fine day after day after day, so eventually we're gonna go to the attorney and say, look, here's my documentation. They're gonna give him, and he's gonna, just what I said, he's gonna say guilty, not guilty, and we're gonna take him to court. You know, it is gonna cost us some attorney fees, but I like it better than, just having the option of someone to say, I don't wanna mess with it,
And the judge would say,
because that lien would stay on your property, you know.
Right.
For, yeah, you could,
I agree.
so.
Maybe,
I-
we have a,
I think we, this other, what does it mean, at the top there, under the, section 1, under enforcement penalties and other remedies, what is it? The provisions of this ordinance shall be enforced by the township board, code enforcer officer. Why does it say any other employees and officials?
that, the township, we're gonna finish the sentence.
Right.
The township board of planning commission and zoning board of appeals through the attorney, for Thetford Township may institute an injunction or other appropriate proceedings to prevent, join, abate, or remove any unlawful erection, alteration, maintenance, or use. The rights and remedies provided in this ordinance are cumulative and are in addition to all other remedies provided by law. All fines collected shall belong to the township and shall be deposited in the general fund.
Which paragraph are you
he's reading here.
reading that?
Where you at?
He's on the very
First
top,
line?
the very first line,
The very top.
enforcement
The
penalties,
provision?
provision, yes. The
The
provision,
provisions of this ordinance shall be enforced by the township board and code enforcement officer or any other employees and officials as the township board may delegate to enforce the provisions of this ordinance.
So you have to delegate.
in that application, see, that's
We
it,
got a code enforcer.
let's say we don't have a code enforcement. And we hire a guy or an officer from somewhere to do this, the code enforcement, then the board would just have to delegate him. You know, that this is who the guy is. So I think that's why that provision's there.
Right, but we would make that individual the code enforcer.
Technically, yes.
Or, I mean, it could be anyone that goes out. It doesn't have to be a code enforcer.
Yeah.
That's why it says, or any other employees.
Or official, yeah, so.
Is this a copy of some other township's ordinance? Or did we just write this from scratch?
This was sent to me by Chris, our attorney.
This is his recommendation.
Okay, so he just,
I'm not sure what he just did. He sent it to me.
so he just gave us like a
Because
generic.
all of our stuff is enforced by, everything is under enforcement of a police department. So technically, we don't really have a way to enforce it if we don't give our code enforcers some time. I mean, he talks to them, he works with them, he guides them, he calls down to the county, he helps, he does what he can do. But we can't give a ticket, or we can't do anything to enforce things that need to be enforced.
That's where it's really going. It's called a municipal civil infraction. That's
And then
actually,
if I do an injunction through attorneys, that's what I had to do on Vienna Road, but we have to have some type of procedure without having.
that actually gives some municipal civil infraction. And it still goes on to say in the description that, you know, there's no. There's no, penalty, let's see, where is it?
I mean, if there's a concern to know, let's say Jeff issues a ticket. Because he's went over there and possibly gave 3 warnings or tried to help him or did everything he could do. So let's say our code enforcer finally says, okay, it's been 6 months, I tried everything to work with you, I'm gonna give you a ticket now. You got 30 days to start doing something. So he's gonna issue a 30-day ticket. The day that he issues that 30-day ticket, he'll follow back up and he'll be like, still haven't did nothing. So then Jeff will give to me and or include me for sure in the email to the attorney, the ticket, and it goes right to our attorney Gilder. From there, Attorney Gilder gets it to the court. It's easier to get to the court because now you violated, this is what's happened, you've been ticketed, and you haven't done any progress. Then it will go to the courts. Now, if the board prefers, I do not have a problem making sure that those tickets, so that the board is aware of what tickets or citations, because that may be your concern too, to know what properties are we giving a 30-day notice to, right? And Jeff can maybe just present that in his code enforcement report monthly when he comes to us. Look, I issued this address, a 30-day or however seems appropriate, but then the board would know. So, but he needs some type of means to work with here.
So you're saying that we have nothing in place right now that allows the code enforcer or the board to enforce the codes that we currently have?
To ticket and get it into court, right? So people can continuously say, no, I'm not gonna say that there's not other avenues, right? You have Genesee County Health Department for one, some things are just held by violation, right? We don't even need to take on that as a health violation. Or some things are,
So you're saying like our, for example, our nuisance ordinance, you're saying our nuisance ordinance does not have any kind of recourse of penalty?
you're correct, because it's gotta be enforced by the police. We have no police department.
Why would, there's nowhere in the ordinance that says the police have to enforce that. It just says that the township ordains the ordinance and the law. Why else?
Well, look at that, because I believe that there's an ordinance that states that they're upheld by the police.
We had
So I can dig into that a little bit more, but that is where I'm running into issues. Well, I know for sure with the zoning ordinance. Because this is why I had to get the injunction or, go through the attorney for the other issue that I have over there, because we have to know. The state police don't help us, because they say they can't enforce our ordinances. So you have little old me knocking on someone's house or door at 12 o'clock at night, like, hey, neighbors are complaining, and so
That's
we
what
have
this
to have
does. It
something.
makes all of those infractions what is it? It's a civil infraction, right? A municipal civil infraction. So it says, what it's saying is all these violations you have, we're gonna call them a municipal civil infraction. And by doing that, he can pile them up and send them to court. Otherwise, they're not really called anything. They're just your thing.
It's not a felony or anything.
No, it's not a criminal. You can't, it does not result in criminal record point on your driver's license or jail time.
right.
And then, well, that, you can read it yourself. That's what the penalties are.
Sure. I'm feeling about it. It's just that I just find it strange that we had all this, we haven't had a police department in this long, and yet we're now kind of like just discovering this or something like that.
Well, I have, and a few things have brought it to my attention, because I'm getting frustrated with Vienna Rd. Okay, for almost a year, I've been dealing with that property through the court system.
Sure.
Okay, we're going close to a year here. Not only that one, I mean, we have a home in this township that is blighted so bad, it's full of water. The property taxes are paid, that's great, but is that a nuisance to the kids that are running around there? Is somebody gonna get hurt, fall, something bad happen? I mean, at least this is giving us, hey, we're giving you 30 days to address this problem. They don't even live in the home.
Neighbors call.
I mean, there's some issues. We work with people. Jeff isn't gonna go over there and say, hey, here's your ticket, you got 30 days to clean it up. I mean, any of our previous code enforcers, they've been good about trying to work with people. If they see progress, we're not doing nothing. It's the moment that there's, and my correct, Jeff, I'm not trying to speak for you, but from my experience with you, you've done everything you can to work with people. It's when the moment comes.
Everything,
Yes.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
And it's just, this is going to be enforced on the ones who are not gonna try to do some type of improvement.
For themselves.
Right. Or if it's a danger, I mean, I stand on both ways with that. I mean, yes, this blighted house is their property, they pay their taxes, it's their fault if something happens. But then on another side that I heard today, what if something happens to that kid? What if that house collapses? We knew all about this and, could we have at least tried to give a 30-day citation in hopes that, now it went to court, now it's a civil, and now at least you're aware. At least it's showing that the township's trying to step in if we need to. So I mean, I don't know, like, we're not sending no one to prison over it. We're not even,
Did we already amend did we already amend section 24.04?
Yeah.
We did.
I removed it.
So is
Is that the right one, right?
yeah.
That we just talked about and discussed the second paragraph.
Remedies there.
What, that first sentence has got me a little bit, caught in right here.
This just means that the board can appoint, and let's say Jeff quits tomorrow, and I say I'm gonna make a motion that Eric Reynolds can enforce our code enforcement. Can enforce our ordinances. Board votes yes. This is giving you the authority to do that. This is giving anyone the authority, Benny, if we make a motion, or Stephanie, I mean, anyone. It's giving us the local power to put anybody in this place, including a code enforcer.
It still have to be voted on.
Yeah.
Always voted on.
By the board.
It's gotta be voted by the board to issue any type of citation, tickets, anything like that.
Does that mean, so let me, that section there, does that mean the board would vote to appoint someone, or does it mean the supervisor? Makes sense.
The provisions of this ordinance shall be enforced by the township board
Board,
and the code enforcement officer or any other employees and officials as the township board we delegate.
yeah, township board, okay, this township board, that's all I was concerned, so it would definitely have to be a vote
We delegate to enforce the provisions of this ordinance.
by board vote.
And we could have Jeff and then appoint two other people to help him enforce, you know.
I just wanted to make sure it was by board vote, that's all. Yeah, that's fine.
Any other questions?
Is there a reason that this didn't go before the planning commission first?
It did.
It did?
At the planning commission last month.
Yeah. We addressed it in June.
It was posted in the paper.
We had a public hearing on it. I don't believe anybody showed up. They're contested.
Yeah, it goes right in line with, putting all it together, all everything you're working on with, we have some way of, putting some teeth in there a little bit. And it's really not very much.
What? A lot of these seem like repeats. What? You're telling me we don't have anything on the books that describes these?
I know in the zoning ordinance, this is what this is specifically wrote for our code enforcer to be able to do it. Or whoever the township board deems fit, because from my understanding, the police are the ones.
Where? For section 24, where did the language for that come from?
The attorney prepared it.
I get that.
What language are you referring to there?
Just referring like the whole paragraph, like, I mean, like we have nothing on the books that describes it? There's nothing.
24, the first section, the first paragraph.
Yeah. I'm just like, why,
We're
like,
probably not to, this is declaring it to be a municipal civil infraction. And a nuisance per se. This is changing everything to be a municipal civil infraction.
It kind of has to list them, because so it can, describe what is a municipal civil infraction.
It's got that right there.
So I can also clarify real quick that the enforcement penalties and other penalties, let's see. So right now in our zoning ordinance, it states in section 24, any person, firm, or corporation violating any of the provisions of this ordinance shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and upon conviction thereof shall be subject to a fine of not more than $100, and the cost of prosecution or in default of payment thereof shall be punished by imprisonment in the county jail for a period not to exceed 90 days for each offense, or by both such fine and imprisonment and the discretion of the courts together with the cost of such prosecution. This is our current zoning ordinance. This is what you would be amending it to. 2401, public nuisance per se. Any building or structure which is erected, altered, or converted for any use of premises or land which is begun or changed subsequent to the time of passage of this ordinance and in violation of any provision thereof is hereby declared to be a public nuisance per se and may be abated by order of any court competent jurisdiction. The owner of any building, structure, or premises or part thereof, where any condition is violated of this ordinance shall exist or shall be created and influenced knowingly in the commission of such violation shall be guilty of a separate offense and upon conviction thereof shall be liable to the fines and imprisonment herein provided. So we are amending what I'm reading to you right now to give them a lesser infraction, a civil infraction and not a misdemeanor.
Right, yeah, there's no. So the ordinance that you just read, that's the police power ordinance?
That's our current zoning ordinance.
The zoning ordinance, okay.
This is amending our current zoning ordinance to
Right.
make that a civil infraction instead of a misdemeanor,
Right,
imprisonment and such.
right, I figured this language was redundant in that we already had some language that was verbatim into this here. Hmm. The other issue is this is the first time I'm seeing this.
Is that counted?
Yeah,
I'm gonna vote for it because I think right now we're trying to, we take people to court, put them in prison over it. I don't know. We got the state police to back us up on this. This is reducing the liability on the homeowner.
yeah, it really is. It's kind of a slap on the hand, and basically it says even further down here that when it goes to court, even if you got a stack of these, it's very likely the judge is going to reduce that, whatever that is. Let's say you get, he cited them 10 days in a row and they got $500. And he said, it says right in here, most likely a judge will say, okay, don't do that anymore and reduce it to $100. Because it's such a minor, that's why it's actually good that it's called. But it's a real advantage for him because he's got nothing new. I mean, he's got no way. If he goes to the same house for 3 months, he's got nothing. But then we could take that to the attorney and he can start the process. And sometimes, a letter from the attorney with his name on it and people do, make different changes.
So like a roll call.
Just real quick, I mean, I'm okay with, I like what John had to say about the second paragraph of section 24.04. I agree with that. I mean, I want, our code enforcement to be able to address these issues with people. I mean, I do think that there's some people that are being slobs on their property. I do think that we have some people that are just absolutely being in nuisance for sure. So yeah, I want there to be some teeth to this, but I mean, the last time, talk about the last time, we we voted on this and then someone snapped it up and, attacked me with it. So we'll say that gently, but,
I mean, if I don't see us getting attacked by this, because like I said,
Right,
reducing
yeah,
the penalty from a misdemeanor to a civil infraction for any zoning ordinance violation.
yeah,
I mean, if anything, I would make the board as a homeowner to say, hey, thanks, not only am I gonna get a misdemeanor over it, I might get a civil infraction, but.
Did you say earlier about having our code enforcer give us like an update
Well, he
on
does,
anything that we're taking to court
he
or?
does a monthly report with us. And he provides us with calls that he's answered, and I'm sure Jeff wouldn't have a problem letting us know if he ticketed a property.
Right.
So you can just get that, just like they do with our planning report and our library report.
The question then is this, but that's all post retroactive though. So you're saying like the code enforcer would give us a report on stuff that's already happened, already been ticketed and already been to court?
Well, already ticketed, it may not necessarily been to court yet, because we usually have meetings once a month, so I mean, right now, if it went to court, if we get something, don't have a meeting for 2 months, I don't know. Guess it would just.
Normally, it would just be the same, let's say 2 months in a row, his report will say, oh, and we're gonna look at it and say, oh, same guy, oh, same guy. And then eventually, it's gonna go to the attorney, but not right away, not for a long time, because
I mean, once he tickets them, and he follows up with them, and they don't got 30-day progress made, it can go to court.
another 30 days, yeah. And or if he wants to give him another 30 days, they're making progress, he can. But that's the clock, it's a 30-day tick, you know. But it will be nice to have upgrades in our packet, you know,
Give us
where you're at.
reports, I mean, I think we're just kind of getting a little too deep down this rabbit hole, that's just my thoughts. Jeff, would you like to say something?
Well, I was gonna say, you do that, 99% of the people are gonna get a ticket that if they ever were to get one, they're gonna comply and fix it before it ever went anywhere.
I don't
And then
know.
it's done.
Correct.
It's just letting them know, hey, we're not playing. And
Right.
the reality is, out of every complaint we've been to right now, nobody would be getting a ticket. So this is just in case. Right now, no one would know.
Okay, so let me understand this. So you're saying of all the cases that you have currently since you started, no one would be getting a ticket right now?
No, every single one of them, some not so fast, not as fast as others, but every single one of them have made an improvement since we have asked them to improve it. Every single one.
Okay, and it is.
Some not real,
Not so much,
but they're
right.
doing it.
Okay, not so much, I get it, I did notice the one piece of property, and he's moving slow at it, but. As long as he's doing something, I suppose, but
I don't want to get too deep down this, can we go with a roll call, please, Aaron, I'm sorry. We've been kind of in this discussion for about 20 minutes.
I get you, but, it's also the first time I'm taking a look at this. Usually I like to look at something, and like especially a new law or ordinance. Look at something, debate it, get all the information I can out of it, and then come back to it with some, with some time to digest it, then vote on it. This. I'm just not seeing this, so it's just kind of I'm just hesitating, I got a lot of questions. Right, you can call it roll.
Please, Andy.
John Congdon,
Yes.
Reynolds,
Yes.
Chris Taylor,
Yes.
Stacy Wells,
Yes.
Rachel Stankey.
Yes. Motion carried 5-0. Okay, with that, we will move to brief public comments, please, for 3 minutes.
Well, first of all, I want to recognize Jason Tarnow for his contributions to the planning commission. And it's sorry to have to see him go. We did have a discussion the first of the year that he could be moving out of the township, but I had advised him that, once it becomes permanent, you have to change your voter registration, then we'll address it at that time. So he's been an asset to the planning commission with his knowledge of businesses, especially during our beginning portions of the marijuana business. In the fact that he was familiar with a lot of the suppliers too and how they operated. It did help us on some of our site plan reviews, what to look for. So appreciate his time. I look forward to working with Dr. Stephanie. She's been at a lot of planning commissions, meetings, and done a lot of research for us. And other than that, I appreciate the appointment because I've been kind of shaky the last 2 planning commission meetings. I've only had 3 people to have hold a meeting. And with, Mr. Taro missing a couple, Mr. McConnell being ill, we were close to just having a quorum, which would have shut down a lot of our business. And sorry to be responsible for your special meeting, but, and be aware I may be asking for another one after the July, planning meeting because we would have had more for tonight had we not had to table a couple things from June, so we may have had more business for you tonight. So, thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Anybody else? Okay, Eric, do you wanna start us off with board member comment?
Sure, thank you for coming out, and, yeah, I'd like to just echo what, Kevin's sentiments were about, Jason, I think he was fabulous at Township. Sorry to see him go, but, glad to see, Stephanie, on the board. So, yeah, so thank you for coming out, and appreciate you being here for the appointment. I often remind people that I don't appoint people that don't appear the day that we appoint them. And I kind of stick with that, so thank you very much, and have a good night.
Mr. Conklin?
I think Stephanie will be an asset on the planning commission. And I'm glad we got through the ordinance there, because I think it's gonna be an advantage to hopefully we'll never need it, but if we do, we'll have a way to do that. So
Thanks.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. This has been working. We need to know
just talk. Use your big girl voice.
it. Put on my big girl pants.
Yeah.
So, and everyone have a safe drive home and good evening.
Chris, thanks for coming out, everybody. Congratulations, Stephanie. Have a good evening. Thank you, Stephanie, for saying yes. Tag one this project. Kevin and Tilson were extremely excited as with your yes response as well. So you're going to be a good part of the team. I think the planning commission members are very important, as well as ZBA. They make a lot of decisions in their township, and it's nice to have somebody with your knowledge and, you know, your time to dig into stuff and be able to look into it. And you've done an amazing job with the solar company, and I know you're gonna do an amazing job for our township. Jeff, you are very fair. You're a very fair person, and I think our township is very lucky to have you around too. So do appreciate you. I know everybody's ready to start their 4th of July holiday, so you guys enjoy, be safe out there this evening, and Valley motion to adjourn. Hold out my thing. Okay. All in favor?
I.
you